I guess you are next in line. Get married and your parents' responsibilities will be over. Career comes after. Get married first. How will you stay alone? In the last 1.5 years, my grandma, who's very sweet by the way, my extended family who know nothing else about my life, and random strangers who know nothing about me ask me about marriage, why I'm not getting married, whether I plan to get married, when I'm going to get married, whether my parents have started looking for somebody, basically marriage. And I'm here trying to figure out what to eat for lunch. A late lunch, actually. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Aparna Chandran here, and this is the most random video I've ever made. Consider this to be a personal rant. Do you know what day it is today? It's Valentine's Day, February 14th. And I know I'm going to be posting this video 1 week later because I'm going to take time to edit it. But yeah, I know the hype for Valentine's Day is not as much as it used to be, where it's like Valentine's week, Rose Day, whatever day it is. But I chose this day to talk about my dating experiences, relationships, what my thoughts are on that, marriage, and how I deal with all my relatives talking to me about marriage and whether I'm going to get married or not, just because I am 26 and I'm not married yet. And again, like, this is the most random video ever, so I'm just gonna rant. I'm gonna have fun with it. There is no script. I'm just gonna talk to you about whatever I'm thinking. And the reason that I chose to make this video is because, so it's a funny story. Every year on Valentine's Day, my mom comes and asks me, or one day before Valentine's Day, my mom comes and asks me how many gifts I'm gonna get, how many roses I'm gonna get. And I'm like, none. Like, literally none. And this is a grouse for her because 95% of my friend circle is guys. It's guys. I have so many guy friends, but we will talk about that later. And another funny thing is also I have this friend, very close friend of mine, who apparently seems to think that I go on 4 dates a week, which is absolutely not true. And then he seems to think that something funny will happen on Valentine's Day because it's just entertainment for him. You know those friends who feel like their friends' lives are entertainment? He's one of them. But he's also my very close friend. But that's the reason we had like the same conversation a few days ago, and that's the reason I'm actually making this video and used it as an opportunity, or am using it as an opportunity to rant. And I'm sure if you are around my age group, and if, like, you know, your friends are getting married, and you probably have friends and family asking you when you're gonna get married, you'll be able to relate to this video. So if you do relate to this video, let me know what your experiences are in the comments below. And do not forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button. Which, by the way, speaking of, if your friends are getting married, or even if you're juniors, in my case, a lot of my juniors are getting married too, and you feel like, you know, FOMO, or you feel like you should get into some sort of dating app, or you should start looking for somebody just because of that, trust me, do not do it. Just believe in me, do not do it. Oh, by the way, and before we begin, this is no means me giving you advice. I'm just ranting here and I'm gonna share my thoughts. Everybody has their own personal preferences, so it's all well and good. Hopefully this is an enjoyable one because you're able to relate to it. And speaking of dating, I absolutely do not go on 4 dates every single week. I do not have the time for that. But I have been on a couple of dates before in the past, not now. And where do I even begin? Like, where do I even begin? By the way, I'm also going to be making lunch at the same time while I'm speaking to you, so forgive me for that. So where do I even begin? I think my last relationship was 2019. Yeah, 4 years, actually almost 5 years ago. 2019 was a 2.5 year relationship. I got out of it, but I was very lucky because that was the chillest, most non-toxic relationship ever. Like, there was no drama, no jealousy, no miscommunication, no insecurities. Best of it was there was no drama, because the stories that I've heard from other friends, like, it's just insane. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? And it was just so natural. There were no problems at all, and it was just a part of our lives. Because even now when someone asks me, they're like, dude, were you actually even in a relationship? Because we had no major fights. We didn't celebrate anniversaries. There were no fancy dates. It was just like a friendship, very natural. We used to hang out with friends and care about each other, and that's about it. And if you ask me even now, I have nothing bad to say about it. Which, of course, you can also ask me why the breakup. Well, long distance happened, life happens, and I had to figure other shit out, so that just happens. But I feel like the reason it worked so well was because we were friends before. So I dated my classmate from college, and we were friends before. We were friends even during the relationship. And I think that made the biggest difference in my opinion. Of course, people are entitled to their own opinions. But to me personally, I feel like when there's a friendship, if you can be if you can be friends with your partner, then it just makes things so much more easy. It makes things simpler because miscommunication won't happen. And I think you already know each other from beforehand, which just, I think, kind of simplifies the process. And I don't think that I can date anybody if I can't be friends with them. Like, I have to be completely crap and crazy in front of the person, in front of my partner. And also, I think that person needs to be a little bit more grounded to handle my crazy, which is fine. I hope so. But yeah, I think in my opinion, if you can be friends first, then it's a great relationship. Or even if you, like, let's say, arranged marriage and you become friends after, that's a great relationship as well. That's how it works for me. Coming back though, sorry, I'm just gonna be chopping some veggies. But coming back though, 4 years, it's been 4 years, almost 5 years. And I don't think I dated for 2 years after that because I was just not interested. But after those 2 years, believe me, I tried dating. I got on dating apps. I met people. I hung out with people. Like, I just try to become friends with them. But it's just so hard, like, because you grow up, priorities change, expectations change. And I feel like when you're younger, you don't think so much. And now you start thinking so much that you're probably like looking at the smallest flaws and being very picky about it. I know it happened to me, which there's nothing wrong, by the way. There's nothing wrong, but I did meet a couple of people. Some of the dates, I would say, I would say my weirdest experience was that I think I met one guy and he asked me if he could punch me in my stomach because, you know what, being a fitness coach and all, like a strong core, abs, and just wanted to check it out. And I'm like, what? Like, no, like that's not happening. And I think that was one of the weirdest experiences. Nothing too weird, of course. I'm glad. But I've also had like nice dates, you know, like rooftop restaurants, beach, video games, movies. They've all been fun, but it just got so hard. And I tried. And the other thing that I don't understand is, Alright, we're all good. My camera's not falling. That gave me such a scare, and I hope my camera doesn't fall again. Now, where were we? Right, back to dating. Like, I don't understand this now. Like, what is just let's go with the flow? And what the hell is a situationship? Like, I'm sorry, maybe I'm old school, maybe I don't know what it is, but I can't just handle these things, and I'm just like, you know what, give me a break, which is precisely the reason that I stopped trying. I'm like, I can't deal with this. I don't have the time to deal with drama like this. You know what, I'm just gonna let it go and enjoy my life. And so I gave up. I literally gave up. By the way, that was all a temporary phase of dating because I was like, you know what, I need to also figure out my career and what I'm doing with life. But now, I'm not gonna lie, with all the, you know, marriages that are happening, it's like wedding season again, and like some of my very close friends are engaged, and I'm not gonna lie, it feels a little bit like, oh, maybe I should get a move on. And I've also actually discussed this with a couple of my friends who are also single, that, you know what, maybe we're growing old. No, we're actually not. We're not growing old. But the one thing that we're all very clear about, which I'm very happy about, is that we will not date just because we're growing old, or we will not get married just because we're growing old. We will only date or get married when we feel like the other person's is, you know, correct, or like the other person's character is in line with what we expected. Like, we're not going to do it just because of FOMO or just because we're feeling lonely, because unless that person adds value to our life, there's no point. And we're very clear about that, which is what we're very happy about. And I guess a little bit of relationship advice for you. I know you, if you're in that age group, you might be feeling the same thing, guys. But like, just don't rush into it. There is no point, because you're better off being single rather than being with the wrong person, or like, just being with someone because you want to be in a relationship. It just doesn't work that way. But of course, it is nice to date. I'm not gonna lie. It's nice to be in a relationship with the right person. If you want to, and if you find such a person, like, just don't be in it because, like, everybody else is in a relationship. It's not gonna work. But I'm not gonna lie, like, I would like to date. It's a nice feeling just for someone to, like, be there, morally support you, and like, who you can spend your time with. Just be yourself. Not because, like, I mean, it's not about the grand gestures and the dates and the fancy whatever. It's about the smaller gestures who you can just, like, spend time with and open up completely and just share your problems, and maybe they might help you out. Like, it's things like that that matter. And for me personally, I know that I cannot stay alone. I'll drive myself crazy. Like, I am like a social butterfly. I need people, and I know at some point in my life I cannot stay alone. I don't want to drive myself crazy. I'd rather drive the other person crazy, and they should be able to take it. Double standards a little bit, but no, I'm kidding, not really. But yes, I would like to be completely crazy with that other person as well. So yeah, I think that's a little bit of relationship advice for you. So date if you want to, get married if you want to, only if you want to, not because someone else is telling you, or because your friends are getting married, or because your family is pressuring you, which I know is very hard. But like, do it if you want to. And like, let me tell you, being single has look at the brighter side. There's so many advantages. Like, I've met so many new people in the process. I've made so many new friends in the process. Of course, some of them are getting married, which is great, by the way. But I've met so many new people, and it's like endless opportunities to meet new people, not to date, but just to be like, oh, you have someone new in your life, you can learn from them. You probably become very good friends. I've become very good friends with some of the people, and that's just like a whole different perspective. And I think that's a lot of fun, which, by the way, speaking of friends, like I told you, 95% of my friend circle, they're just guys. And my mom has this grouse that, you know what, you have so many guy friends, how can you not find one person to date? Friends. If you know, you know. Friendship is a boundary that you do not cross. Like, yes, sure, initially you might be attracted to someone, but after a while, that's a boundary you do not cross. Like, unspoken rule that if you're two closest friends, it just does not change. It reaches that point where you're like super comfortable, but you also know that that's not a possibility. And I have few friends like that who are guys, and they are nice people. They are nice people. I'm sure if they're watching this, they'll probably be like, what the hell are you saying? But they are nice people. I will give them that. But to me, they're just like my weird, idiotic friends who kind of like make fun of me all the time, but who are also there for me if I, need it, and if I am in an emergency. So that's a line we do not cross. Not at all. Sure, be friends with the people you date, or become friends before you date, but don't already date your existing friends. Quoting friends, actually, like quoting friends where they give advice to Joey. Don't hit on your existing friends. Become friends and date those people. So yeah, fair enough. And speaking of, there is also a running joke in my family. The joke is, if the guy can't beat me at arm wrestling, then I'm not gonna date him, because I don't want to be able to beat up my boyfriend. Actually, wait, I should be able to beat him up in case something goes wrong, like just in case. Okay, you know what, never mind, never mind, but that's a running joke in my family. But jokes aside, one of the best pieces of advice that I got from my uncle and aunt, who are super chill, by the way, they talk to me about this all the time, and like, I can just like openly talk to them. I know for some people it's not possible, so I am very lucky that way. I am glad I have them. So yeah, they've given me one of the best advices. So my uncle tells me, if you want to catch fish, you can't do so from the top of the mountain. You have to go where the fish are, which I know like kind of like basically means you have to put in the effort if you really want to date somebody. It's only in this context. If you want to date somebody, you really have to put in the effort. which is very fair. And then I have another aunt who told me that, you know what, if you want to date or if you want to find a guy with with certain expectations, make a list of those expectations. Figure out what you would want in that person, and then go to places where you think you will find such people and interact and socialize and mingle and see who you find. And I think those are great. Of course, we all don't have the time for that, but maybe can work out great. And I guess, I don't know, I'm not following that advice right now because I'm just like, you know what, I'm also focusing on work a little bit and kind of like want to start dating, but not, I'm completely invested in it that I need to turn my life around for it. So if this advice helps you, hopefully it helps you. So take it, use it. Great, I think I just burnt my toast. Yeah, that's burnt. I need to switch. But anyways, speaking of dating preferences, we're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into my dating preferences. But the only thing I would say is I think I have a few deal breakers which I don't mind sharing. So one is, obviously, I need to be able to respect the person that I date, because if I don't respect them, I can't date them. And the second probably is that they should have some sort of direction in life. If they're just like, I don't know what I'm doing, of course nobody has their life figured out, but if they're like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't think I can deal with that because it'll drive me crazy. And third, they should be mature. They should be more mature than I am, because I like to be the mature one. Double standards. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But it's nice if they're mature. I can be mature when I want to. But I guess I think those are my few deal breakers when it comes to like dating. And I don't know about marriage. I'm not going to talk about marriage. And I'm definitely not going to talk about kids. But I guess this is the entire thing that I wanted to speak about. And in the process of speaking to you, I have not even finished making lunch. I'm literally making a sandwich and eggs for the last, I don't know how long have I spoken to you? 20 minutes, 15 minutes? Like, I wanted to make a peanut butter sandwich and just chopped up some tomatoes and cucumbers and boiled some 3 eggs. So that's what I'm going to have for lunch. I'll quickly whip that up before ending this video. Let me just give me a second. Let me whip up the lunch. Okay, so we have 3 eggs. I'm going to use the not so burnt bread pieces, some peanut butter. There we go. We'll quickly make like a peanut butter sandwich. Because I am in a rush. I have to head out after this for a meeting. And then I have some self-care for today, because why not? Cliche, self-love. Valentine's Day self-love. I'm kidding. I'm just so sore that I need to get a massage done. And I'm going in for a deep tissue massage and also a spa. So hopefully I want to come back all rejuvenated so that I can play basketball tomorrow and take my boot camp in peace. Alright? That's not too much peanut butter, that's okay. And we need some seasoning. This is from the US, my favorite. Everything but the bagel seasoning. The first time I went to US and I tried this, I was like, damn, I will put the seasoning again on my eggs when I need them. And then yes, we are missing one more thing. Yogurt that's left. We have yogurt, so I'm going to show you my lunch quickly. Alright, so we've got some eggs, a peanut butter sandwich, yogurt about 150 grams, and some veggies. Simple, plain, done. So I guess that's it about dating and relationships, guys. I'm not going to talk about marriage, and I'm not going to talk about children after this. Marriage, yes, I'll probably get married like 3 years, 4 years down the line. Don't really have a deadline. Happens when it happens. I'm not worried about how old I am when I'm married, but I would like to get married. But I think that's enough dating advice from me and rant from me, because if I keep talking, I will keep talking. And I guess I will just continue listening to my grandparents and extended family asking me about marriage, while I still try to figure out what I eat on a daily basis for lunch and for breakfast, because I don't like to cook. But hopefully you like this video, hopefully you related to it. And again, there's like no knowledge, it was just a fun rant that I wanted to share. And what better place other than taking a video? It's all the memories. But let me know your experiences if you want to in the comments below, if you're interested in sharing anything, or if you feel like something like this has happened in your life. Let me know, and do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe because I promise after this it'll be more educational, informative workouts and nutrition tips and just things about fitness and health. Alright, I promise. So I will see you next time. I'm gonna go enjoy my lunch. You go enjoy your day, and maybe you can rant to someone else about you being bombarded like about marriage and dating and things like that. So I'll see you next time. Bye.